Sela, okwi-committee kasodolophu in Economic Development and Agency, but namhlanje ke ndithunyiwe njengoba utshilo program director kuthiwa Khombe Nqatha iPower ingoma wangalala ndimumeya kule ndawo ndime kuyo. Njengokuba besendibulisile program director, I think as the city we must appreciate the fact that we are hosting as the municipality lo mcimbi omhle kangakanani. Of course, it is indeed a great honor as the municipality of Buffalo City Metro that we will be hosting the commemorative event of the International Civil Aviation today. The United Nations General Assembly proclaimed the 7th of December was to be International Civil Aviation Day. This day is celebrated every year in recognition of the role of aviation industry in the global community. And we are told that there is a theme for today, or for this celebration. It is advancing the innovation for global aviation development. And today, as the city, we wish to say that nawe Kongo awumncinananga, nawe Eastern Cape awumncinananga. We wish that the program ingahamba iyotsho to our rural areas, as we all know that Eastern Cape is very rural, and also the metro nayo is very rural. We wish that wonke umuntu lapha today azive emngelekile kulo masipala wethu uMbhaqa. Siyakholwa, siyavuya into yokuba sibone sive mphathiswa that bakhona nabathathu abasuka to the part of the Eastern Cape who are forming part of this program. We're also very happy to be told that kune first black South African oyipart yalo mcimbi. So ngalo mazi sifuna ukuthi wonke umuntu lapha namngelekile eBuffalo City. Thank you very much, Program Director.
So dolopa naiphinda la ndibitshwa nguJera Mathanda ekuseni about his profession. I don't see him on the program, so I think the young years at some point we'll need to see this person that we talk about so that they can be inspired and know that even those that grew up in the toughest time in this country have emerged despite and in spite of all the impediments that were set before them. They have actually emerged and achieved great things in history. Pha kokumkani ndiboyika nangona ndingelo John kodwa ndiyakucela General Phakama so that we don't talk about you and people that are here don't see you. Masikhwabeni izandla. Zesithi xa siphuma apha sekugqitywe yonke into kukhona intente epha yamajoni. General has displayed his core business there. He says le nto yomane sicinga ngamajoni only when we have disasters is misplaced. He actually has his core business, and he decided that he will bring it here today on this day when we celebrate civil aviation, not the military but civil aviation. He wants us to show the other side to aviation. So siyabulela kakhulu General. There is amongst us many stakeholders, Minister. There's the South African Youth Council that is here. There's the captains of industry. I see Umamus Kota, Osuka Kwenafko, Kukwana phakathi kwethu. We have been told that Nelson Mandela University is here. Dr. Nelubom, I've already spoken about the General. They are here in full force. The South African Air Force is here. The SAPS Air Wings is here. We have SACAR, which is the South African Civil Aviation Authority, and baninzi ke ngabona abantu basizisele abantu abaninzi esilapha nabo namhlanje. We also do have the presentation from Vulnerable Airport. We have the Transport Training Authority, amongst us. We have, earlier today, Minister, we had a session with the Premier and the teachers of many of these young people that are here with us today. And we had the pleasure of listening to the Premier talking to them this morning. We have ATNS, and those are the ones that are responsible for our safety. So class Kwelo Sefer, Sequela, U-Link, Sequela, U-SAA, there are people that are sure to control purpose because accidents. And the reason why this country has got no accidents in the longest time, I don't remember the last accident that was ever reported about civil aviation. And I must say, Auspo, when you gave us that go ahead in April, one of the things that we wanted to be sure was that we do not mess up the safety record of South Africa. We were more interested in the safety record than in anything else. And I'm glad that after close to, I don't see Noel here, but we had, I know that the cargo air traffic movements were in excess of 40, with about 48 air traffic movements just on cargo in April. And combined with the passenger aircraft, we got close to about 80 in that period of about, give or take, it was 21 days. Because it was 6 days before the president arrived, and it was 6 days when the president was here, and it was 7 days to do the evacuation. And in that period, most of the people that were based at this airport and made sure that operation was an incident-free operation were here today. And thank you very much for entrusting us with the civil aviation record of this country. Bendishilo ke ngizathu ngizawumane ndisithi ukuchaza into yoba ngobani abaphakathi kwethu njengoba bendisenza ngolo hlobo bendiba ndiyakhangela ngamehlo DDG Thwala ndiyamazi uba uDG ulolu hlobo ndilulo akayoyelo bomi ngoku andimboni uDG bendiba ke ndizamkhwaza asondele azokwenza the purpose of the day. Is that what's wrong with? Did you? I don't worry. Yes, that did you? Tinasizo yellow bone did you? As a kamanga, safari na banyaba, what are they? Say cool.
Program Director, Honorable Minister, MECs and HODs of the province, academia representing Nelson Mandela Bay. I request that I say all protocol observed. I think the Program Director has explained how this day came about. So I would not repeat what he said. I'm sure you heard him. In the interest of time, I'm going to say welcome everybody. And the people that were bringing this thing to the learners, please take heed of what is happening here and make a career out of aviation. Thank you, Program Director.
Siyabulela DDG. Part of my job is to make sure that, particularly because sinabantu abatsha abalapha, aningawo namayanga andiyazi kuthiwa xa kuthethwa nani bendike ndaniva apha nikhwaza amandla besigqitha apha singekho kule nto yenu. Molweni bethuni, kutheni amazwi enu ndingawava nje? Molweni tyhini. Heyi, yazi ungacinga uba abantu abekho There's a representative MSc of the Transport Education and Training Authority. I'm just going to get into just a few aspects of the program before we call MEC. Ntata Khoboro, come, please come. We want to talk to these young people about the opportunities within the civil aviation space in terms of training, so that you can be qualified to be pilots and so on. We want to talk to you quickly, and after that I will take 2 minutes of the message of support, just 2 minutes each, so that we can show a presentation. That this, you can come.
Thank you very much, Program Director, Honorable Minister, MEC, MMCs, and CEOs, my counterparts, and it's written here for me to say all protocol observed. It's in the speech, so I'm doing the right thing. And let me also take the time to acknowledge the Mayor Wanamsanj. And we also acknowledge that the Premier was here earlier on today. I thought I was the shortest person to be here, but you were so short, and now I'm not so sure if I'll break the record. And this is how I'm going to do it. The first portion would be to really take us through what this day is about, but the previous speakers have already done that, so I'm not going to go through that. I think we have captured it well, and later on many other persons are going to be highlighting that. I must say, as a SETA, we are honored to be part of this big program. I have been part of it not so long ago, only since 2009. So it's not long, but I've been part of it, and I have seen a number of young people coming on and being supported, and some of them have become pilots, some of them have become engineers. So the whole coordination of resources, both financial and human resources, to put this together. And we as TITA, we really would like to give our support in this event, and seeing that we are doing it again in the future. And we would like that all of the participants be applauded as part of this. Program Director, our quest is to inspire visionary leadership across sectors, across the sector, and it manifests itself in various forms. Today and yesterday, we have gone through the capacitation of educators. And here really, it is that we are here today. From Thursday we were here, and yesterday and today. But if we had not done this educator capacitation program, we would be gone tomorrow. So this is a way of extending our tentacles, this is a way of extending our arms, so that when we are not there, the teachers are capacitated in these programs that are in aviation. And as a challenge, perhaps we should put it in this way, that many of them are really talking about careers that they have not even have a feel of. Some of them have not been at airports, some of them have not been in aircraft, but they have to tell the learners about careers. So this is not only about transport today or even aviation, but the challenge is that we would be able to capacitate them not only academically, but that they would have a physical feel at all of these various careers, so that when they talk about them, they would have been there and they would have seen it. For example, have they been in the tower, so that when they talk about careers that happen right up there, they can talk about something they know. And this is part of what we did yesterday and today. Honorable Minister, these young people who are gracing us today, and it has been mentioned already, they are, I almost said on leave, they are on holiday. So they are not on leave, they are on holiday. And I think we need to applaud them for having set aside days to be here, so that they take their career seriously, their future seriously. If it was not for that kind of attitude, they would have said they are not coming, they don't care, but things must be brought to them. So I think we need to applaud them for having done so that after this, yes, thank you very much. They will be able to say they were able to set aside something that was nice for something that was valuable in their lives. So, and I have learned a little bit of Xhosa while I was here. Nani niziqhwabeleni izandla ngokuba khona. So I kept on practicing my khakhas, so I got the qhwabeleni izandla kakuhle. But I learned it in a bad way some time ago. Zaqhwaba ngempawu. Hey, but I don't think this qhwaba is that one. This one is applaud. As a SETA, we have supported, and this is really getting to the core of it, and as I prepare to take my seat, is that we have supported the training of pilots from PPL to CPL to ATPL to our building, because we know that even as DCA is here, that the licenses are issued at the minimum required number of hours, but employability does not happen at that number of hours. So we have a program as a SETA to say, while the licenses are issued at these hours, they can fly, but they are not absorbed in the market. So there is a program, Honorable Minister MECs, to say we are then going to put money into pulling them from the hours they have right up to where they can be employed by the SAAs, DDG and the likes. Drones have become part of us. Yesterday, one of our young guys who is here, we have given as a resource, is staying about a kilometer or two from here. So the team went to go and visit her mother, and the mother was very excited to see that the young person is working for a SETA. But the terrain between here and there, while it's about 1 kilometer, it took us 4 kilometers in terms of road to get there. And this is where the drones come in, because once we start getting to use them, we can deliver a number of items, goods. It does not matter how big today, they can be delivered. So we are also throwing it in to say, as we develop for these aviation sectors, we must now start thinking about using drones. We should not be thinking it's something that is coming. In fact, we are a few steps behind. We need to do something like that. Over the past 4 years, Honorable Minister, TITA has invested just over 186 million rand, impacting more than 2,000 young patrons within the aviation industry through the bursaries, technical training, drone pilot training, and this time we have gone over 400 drone pilots trained by TITA as we speak in various trainings. And as I prepare to take my seat, we will not stand here and say it is enough, even as I give these big numbers. We are saying when we come back, in terms of the rent value and the numbers that have been trained, we are looking at training even more. And if it is possible, we would like to see in a few years' time, some of the young people who say, we were there at Bulembu, I am now a pilot, I am now an aircraft maintenance engineer, I am also this, I'm also there, so that we can share the message across and people must know that it is possible. Thank you very much, Program Director.
Thank you very much. Funeka sikufundise esinye isiXhosa. Before uhambe ndiyakubona into yoba ikumkani ngathi unike nje noba lenxiwa. Noko xa ufuna usazi isiXhosa noba zikhona ezinye into ofuna uzanazo. Siyabulela kakhulu. Ubalulekile lo mcimbi wethu into yoba siqiniseke into yoba siyasithetha isintu. Siqiniseke into yoba iilwimi zakuthi azizozicaka zesiNgesi. Ibalulekile loo nto. Yiyo loo nto abantwana bam sizawusithetha isiNgesi, sisithethe nesiXhosa. Kuba sawube siyanilahlekisa ukuba singathetha nani isiNgesi kuphela. Ndizawucela ke ndingakhange ndichithe xesha ucela a representative of the airports company South Africa to come and just give us a 2-minute message of support. Andimboni ke umuntu wase-AXA apha. Kodwa ke sizawuqhuba sibize wena sisinozipho. This is a friend of the Eastern Cape in many ways than one. You know, HOD kani mane nizinikeza tasks ezinzima. Naba abantu sibafonela ebusuku. Sivuse bona ebuthongweni sithi hey kuthiwani sisinozipho xa kunje. Ma'am, a message of support please.
Molweni. Hayi cha umbingelelane na kakhulu. Ake sikhulumeni ngiyangibona. Ngicela ukuzwa amaphimbo wenu ke nibingelele. Sanibonani? Ninjani kodwa? Nibahle. 2 minutes yami yaphela. Honorable Minister Nkosi yabo ye village yabakhahari mangabosses HOD nabo bonke abaphathi ngiyanibingelela director bakhona CEO bakhona nabaphathi bako Ministry of Transport abakhona under the leadership of the minister as well as the DDG. Ngiyanibingelela abaphathi bako Theta ngiyanibingelela nabangani bami ihlobo zami engisebenza nazo kakhulu abakwa SAPS nabakwa Air Force under leadership ka General Deputy Chief waka SAF-A wase Southern Air Force. Oh SAF-A ungifunani bodwa. 2 minutes wami ngizozama ukumbamba ngempela kuzoba nzima kodwa ke ngizozama. Namhlanje sihlangene ngokubaluleke kakhulu. It is indeed a privilege for us to be here in honor of the young men and women that are looking up to us, that we are here to create opportunities for them. We have the responsibility to really take care of them. Whatever they see in us, they must be inspired to be better than us. We need to create opportunities for them, and we are here to inform you that we do have opportunities, young men and women. All we require you to do to have the courage, the conviction, the dedication, and the commitment that you can do it. And it starts with you committing to your school at work. When we talk about maths literacy, just say no to maths literacy and say you want pure maths. Because greater opportunities are where greater challenges are. Without you challenging yourself, you will forever be lower than the eagles. The eagles are there. You can be with them. And I'm now using this narrative or analogy of an eagle because it flies anywhere and freely so. You are capable of being there. As ATNS, we have demonstrated that we are doing that. There's quite a lot of things that we do under the JAP, which is the Joint Aviation Program that we have with the various entities in the Ministry of Transport that is aimed at providing aviation opportunities. As ATNS, we've got an academy that trains young men and women to become air traffic controllers. Now, being an air traffic controller, you're controlling lapha esibhakabhakeni. Awukucela ukuthi ube better than air traffic control yala emgwaqweni. Akuphakame uye le kuhamba khona ama-eagle. Uyo manager airspace. We've got those opportunities. In fact, we work together with the Ministry, with the Department of Transport, Department of Education, to develop young men and women. We've got projects that are CSI projects, corporate social investment projects, where we have deployed solutions, libraries, we've provided laboratories. We have also started providing what supports you in terms of your living, and that is also the garden equipment, so that we are also able to provide food, nutrition for yourselves in the schools. In fact, our first program through JAP was in 2004, where we have deployed the first program. It was here in Eastern Cape. Even during the transport month, we delivered here in the Eastern Cape. So Eastern Cape, iphakathi ey'nhliziyweni zethu. I-Eastern Cape sosebenzisana nayo njengoba asho ubhuti ukuthi ubaba umhlaba ukuthi sisebenzisana nayo nangempela si-present e-Eastern Cape and sohlala si-present. And we go to the rural areas, communities, and we work with them closely. We'll forever do that. In fact, I just want to encourage the teachers not to lose hope. It is not easy, the work that we are doing, developing young men and women of today. Ngey'nkathi zethu bekuhlukile. Ama-challenges anamhlanje awafani nama-challenges wakudala. Ngiyanicela nibabekezelele abantwana. Nani bantwana hloniphani othisha benu. Nihloniphe nabazali benu. Ngoba kubalulekile ukuthi la uhlonipha khona kula indlela yakho ivuleka khona. Ngiyanicela bantwana bami ukuthi wena ubusiseke ukwazi ukuhamba indlela oqokelwe yona ukuthi uqale ngokuhlonipha futhi uyimisele. Ngiyanithemba ukuthi nizokwenza lokho. Futhi ngiyanithemba ukuthi niyofika e-ATNS ngoba mina ngunozipho Mndawe ngiwu-CEO we-ATNS. Ngiyazi futhi ukuthi niyofika ku-aviation nizoba ku-CAA, nibe ku-airports company, nibe kuma-airlines, siyiqhenye ngani ngoba ngey'nkathi zethu kwakungekho konke lokhu. Mina ngangingazi ukuthi ngingasebenza ngibe yi-air traffic control. If I had an opportunity at that time, I would have been one today. The opportunities of being a pilot were limited. So the entrance into the aviation sector was very limited. But we have a unique opportunity. Use it and use it wisely. So that generations that are going to come after you, they will see that it can be done. I can say it can be done if I can see someone doing it. Namhlanje sibheka General Matanda. Oh, he was a first pilot. That means I can be a first pilot, drone trainer, or whatever that you want to be. It can be done. On that note, Minister, siyabonga. Ngako konke lokho. Inkosi nibusise nonke.
Siyabulela kakhulu sisinozipho. Wawenza lula gqitha umsebenzi wami. Amongst us we have the International Air Services Council. We have the International Air Licensing Air Services Licensing Council. And we will continue acknowledging those guests that are here with us today. MEC, awusphofi uthi sekuthethe kwagqitha. But let me say this so that everyone understands. Namhlanje, any ability that we have to fly helicopters or airplanes outside, it would not be possible if, as an airport, we have not been given a license to do so. And that license is given by the South African Civil Aviation Authority. And namhlanje, we are very happy for you to be here today, so that when you give out these licenses for us, we know ukuthi we take them seriously and responsibly. Asithandi kona le mvula namhlanje ngasilinda noma ibinoqala pha ngo-4 because ngathi sasiphazamisa singa-end apha singakuboni zonke izinto ezinhle bekumele uba siyazibona. Awusikhuphi ngicela uphakame bakubona. That's Auspopi Koza. She is the Chief Executive Officer of the South African Civil Aviation Authority. Without wasting any further time, MEC, Singabak.
Yeah, thank you, Program Director, Honorable Minister, the Executive Mayor of ADM, Utatu Zangani, Acting Executive Mayor of the Metro, abantwana begazi abakhoyo apha xa bebonke, the HOD and the DDG and the DGs present and other senior managers of both national and provincial departments. Wonke umuntu okhoyo apha, abantwana, ootishara, molweni. Molweni. Mtheni noma khona ungabulisi. Ndingayichitha le ntlanganiso apha. Yeah, nge-powers vested, ndingayichitha le ntlanganiso. Both chairperson no secretary were South African Youth Council, they are here, recently elected. Congratulations, gentlemen. Okay. I would like to express our deepest gratitude to the National Department, Honorable Minister, for affording us an opportunity as a province to host this event, especially here in Bishop Airport, which we are working very hard to attract prospective stakeholders to come and create activities in this airport. Special thanks to you, Honorable Minister, that we celebrate this day here. We are aware that South Africa, through the National Department of Transport, is a signatory to the International Civil Aviation Organization. We support this awareness that seeks to achieve safety, efficiency, and compliance with the international aviation regulations. This again will create awareness that civil aviation is a career of choice and to young and upcoming graduates. This will also open opportunities for our schools to consider civil aviation as one of the careers that must be included in the curriculum of our schools. The province will spread this to some of the schools, Honorable Minister, from here in the province. We just want your team to come and work with the province in each year. We'll make it an annual sort of activity going forward. And as a province, we're having two airports, which is the Umtata Airport and the Bishop Airport, which is where we are now. I was saying to the minister, this airport is just next to this airport is a grave of Griffiths Mklenge and Victoria Mklenge. Not far away is a grave of Steve Biko. And therefore any investment here would be a fitting tribute to those heroes. And I know not far from here there are other traditional leaders buried in this land. So it is an investment that would be welcomed. The provincial government wants to register our presence in the civil aviation space, and therefore that's why we would want to get a support from the national government. And we also have two airports which are managed by AXA, which we want to be strong on aviation with the support of the department and the leadership of the minister. We want to establish partnerships with other civil aviation organizations so that we bring life in this province. And lastly, I want to assure you, Honourable Minister, that the provincial government is working tirelessly to ensure that our airports, particularly Bishop and Mthatha, do not become white elephants. We want them to be self-sustained and create massive jobs for the locals. And thanks very much.
Siyabulela mphathiswa. Xa emafutshane ayancedisa kuba akanidi utolikwa. You must all stand up, please, young people.
Thank you.
you, Program Director. We may be seated. Halala, Eastern Cape, halala. Halala, Bisho, halala. Eitha bafundi, eitha. Uzoyithola kanjani? Uhlele khoneni. Asilungiseniki. Singasho ukuthi uzoyithola kanjani bese uthi hlole khoneni. Nina ngoba nabafundi nizophendula nithi ungayi esikoleni. Uzoyithola kanjani ungayi esikoleni? Ungayi esikoleni uzoyithola kanjani? Uzoyithola kanjani? Ungayi esikoleni. Ayitholakali bantu abami. Ungayi esikoleni. Ayitholakali. Itholakala esikoleni. Bese kuba nempilo engcono emva kwesikole. Noma ngabe kuthiwa ekhaya akukuhle namhlanje. Kodwa ngenxa yokuya esikoleni elakhi ikhaya kungaba kuhle. Ngokuya nje esikoleni. Lusuka serious. Angibingelele ngokukhethekile uMEC we-Transport and Community Safety Honorable Xolile Nqatha esebeni le-Eastern Cape. Ngiphinde ngibingelele futhi umeya okhona weMathole District uKhansela Anele Nsangani. Ngibingelele o-MMC abakhona phakathi kwethu. Ngibingelele uDeputy Director General osiphathelele liyaziko leya branch ku-department ebuka i-aviation ubaba uZakhele Thwala. Phakathi kwethu kukhona ama-boards no-chairperson bama-boards ama-entities ka-government akhona a-reporter ku-Department of Transport. Kukhona o-CEO abakhona phakathi kwethu. Awuthi ngimtshele nje lapho nje ngithi ukukhulukhuluma. Mathathu ama-entities akwa-aviation, ama-company akwa-aviation. Futhi ngizobuza imibuzo ekugcineni ophendulayo sizawubona. Mathathu ama-company akhona akwa-aviation a-reporter kwi-Department of Transport. Ama-companies kahulumeni. Eyokuqala yi-AXA. Esibukela ama-airports ethu ase-South Africa. Ewa-ownayo on behalf of government. Ebonayo ukuthi alungisekile. Eyesibili, Air Traffic Navigation Services. Uma wakhona ubekhuluma la, u-CEO wakhona ubekhuluma la. Isibukela i-airspace yethu e-South Africa. Sibuka ke thina u-6% we-airspace yomhlaba ibukwa yi-South Africa. Kodwa kukhona baphinde basicele bathi sibukeleni airspace so that niyazi ukuthi kwenzeka ini ku-airspace. Bese kuba khona futhi i-entity or i-company okuthiwa i-regulator isakha ebuka ukuthi yonke into yenzeka ngokusemthethweni. Noma ngabe uyi-traffic controller, noma uyi-pilot, noma uyini, u-certificated, noma uyibhanoyi, noma whatever, kwenzeka ngokufanelekile. Awuthi-ke ngimtshele, onke lama companies aholwa abantu besifazane base-South Africa. Ngibingelele ama-members e-South African Air Force abakhona ukusupporta, abakhona abaqhamuka kuThitha, abakhona abarepresenta ama-airlines, abakhona abaqhamuka kuma-aviation schools and associations, officials of government and public entities, trade unions, civil society organizations, private sector companies represented here today. Special guests in this case, I want to include our teachers. You know, kuba utisha is something special. Airport company in South Africa. All of us are able ukusho lento ngendlela eyodwa because othisha basifundise ukuthi u-A lawyer ya, u-C lawyer ya, u-P lawyer ya. Otherwise bekuyithombe nje.
but teachers make us ukukhona ukufunda ucompany, all of us city company, ngoba siyabona ukuthi C no O no M no P no A, otherwise besingazi. This is a special career and profession. Evula mehlo kade evalekile. And teachers, take yourselves seriously because you are a very important profession. Laba bantwana behleli lana sibabukile bebahle kanje baphuma emakhaya. Kodwa abanye baphuma sihluleka nathi siyabazali and communities. Baye esikoleni nifike nikhona ukubagoba and produce aviation experts ni othisha. Bese sithi uma sesimlana sikhuluma sikhohle ukuthi all of us are products of teachers. You are such an important profession. But amongst us, kukhona abaqhamuka kuma SGBs siyababingelela. Importantly, sinabantwana besikole. You know nibahle bantwana bami. Ushilo CEO, you are beautiful. And let me tell you, you must be proud of yourselves as abantwana besikole. Noma ngingafisa kangakanani namuhla ukuthi ngigqoke le uniform ngibe yi-student esikoleni, akukho isikole esingangithatha. Asikho nje isikole esingathatha mina kuthiwa manje ngizokwenza umatric ngigqoke i-uniform. Mhlawumbe i-university nayo futhi yabona i-UNISO uyayibona leyo nto. Nje yabo. So lesi sikhathi sakho usesikoleni uyi-student sijabulele. The uniform oyigqokile igqoke with pride because ishi isikhathi okuso se-uniform siyadlula. Kube khona isikhathi sokugqoka nje noma yini but not i-uniform. Uma uphuma la uya ku-tertiary institution ayiphelile into ye-uniform, so ugqoke okunye. Uma ngabe usuya emsebenzini sekuya nokuthi uchoose ini, but nje kukhona isikhathi ongeke usaba se-high school ngaso. Ngakho-ke sijabulele lesi sikhathi, siyajabula ukuthi nikhona and nibahle futhi into engisayibuka niyabehave engathi ningaqhubeka kanjalo. Siney'ndaba esiniphathele zona. Angibingelele abaqhamuka kuma-academic institutions, research institutions, members of participating communities, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, we are very happy and honored that we are celebrating the International Civil Aviation Day in this majestic and scenic province, which is the Eastern Cape province. They call themselves the home of legends. Usethe nje ukudlula lapho u-MEC. Uyabona ukukhuluma ke ngomxenge, obaba uMxenge no Victoria Mxenge. Usikhumbuza ngamaqhawe. You know, yabona uma ngifa namuhla kuyophela nje akubenjani. But uyabona ke obaba uMxenge no Victoria Mxenge, we wish ngabe bayaphila. But befile benjalo. But where you are today, sibongeni, and never forget us. And that is why it is important ukuthi ni abantwana base Eastern Cape nazi ukuthi ubani uVictoria Mxenge. Kufanele nikwazi ukuthi ubani uGriffith Mxenge and why kufanele sikhulume ngayo. Because ngizawufika la nginitshela khona ukuthi phela njengoba ungazi ukuthi thina ku-wrong uma sikhuluma ngamaqhawe ethu. Laba abanye amagama ama-airports lawa amakhulu babewabize ngababecabanga ukuthi amaqhawe abo ababesicindezela. But sawufika lapho. And ngisho ukuthi we are happy that as South Africa, together with other member states of ICAO, we take time to celebrate what is called the International Civil Aviation Day, ICAD. Because we are a member of International Civil Aviation Organization, and therefore kanye namazwe omhlaba noma amakhulu noma amancane Nathi we say, lesisikhathi kufanele silicelebrate leli langa and take stock nge-aviation ukuthi iqhamuka kuphi. I must tell you ukuthi ngo-1944 kwasayinwa i-Chicago Convention. Kwase kwakhiwa le-UN body agency ebizwa ngokuthi i-International Civil Aviation Organization, i-ICAO. I-South Africa yayikhona lapho. Ngakho-ke i-South Africa umukhuluma ngokwakhiwa kwe-ICAO. I-South Africa is a founder nayo ye-ICAO. So we have been a member ye-ICAO kusukela yakhiwa ngo-1944. And that is why it is important that as South Africa we celebrate this day, ilanga le-aviation. Bathi-ke laba bakwa-aviation ngiyafisa ukuthi ngathi nje ngingabuya ngithole 1 or 2 3 4 5 ke bevakashe bayabona ama-airports ethu from the Eastern Cape. Bathi-ke laba be-aviation ngiyabezwe be-Sundowns bathi the sky is the limit. Abakwa-aviation bathi the sky is our offices. Sihlala lapha phezulu. So as ku-aviation, the sky is not the limit. Because kwa-aviation usuka la udlula mafu usabuka isky ngaphezulu. Ilabe operator khona abakwa-aviation. And I'm inviting you to want to be part of the people that are operating above the clouds. Abatam is sky is our offices. You can actually be that. I-ICAO it decided yati theme this year is advancing innovation for global aviation development. And as South Africa, we are also advancing innovation because we want to be part of the global world. There is no aviation without innovation. There is no aviation without South Africa contributing. And I can tell you now, as I will be telling you, that as South Africa, we are doing exceptionally good when it comes to our contribution to aviation. Somebody to take it la, wati ena obekhuluma lubukhosi, wati bekuyindaba lezi engafanele siyikhulume, ngoba kwengafanele sizazi kwakuzazi. Hayi asizazi nje siyikhulumi. Siya operator phakathi today. Because this democracy isinikeze ukuthi singene la iminyango yayivalwe khona. Difficult as it is, but siyabangena. Uyabona ke si celebrate leli langa today, but the 3 state-owned companies esithe akahulumeni, AXA, ATNS, SACA. I-AXA ne-ATNS iqeda 30 years to this year. Yakhiwa ngo-1993. Kwasekuthi SACA iqeda 25 years this year. Yakhiwa ngo-1998. Akho-ke siye sahamba si-celebrate, sibuka ama-milestones, sibuka ukuthi where do they come from? What is it that they have achieved up until where we are today? And there is so much that we have achieved as a country with aviation. The aviation sector, let me tell you, people believe that when we talk about aviation, sisho something yabantu abathize, abakhona abanemali, ayisithinti thina. That is wrong. There is no tourist efike South Africa iswima. There is no tourist efike South Africa riding a bicycle. They fly to South Africa. When they arrive at South Africa, they then visit our heritage sites. They visit our oceans. Uma befika lapha bafika umawab no mawab. Bafika mina ngihleli ngidayisa ama-beads. The tourists afike fly. Ngidayisa ama-beads bathenge ngihambe ngekhaya ngiyofundisa abantwana bami ngibanikeze ukudla ekhaya. And therefore, aviation, the tourism, they have this relationship ethi ba dependent komunye, because ukuze i-aviation iphila kufanele kube khona abantu abeze South Africa baflye bakhona, but ukuze i-tourism ibe khona kufanele kube khona i-aviation ezokhona. Yingakho kuyinkinga, i-AXA says this, ithi kuyinkinga ukuthi kube khona indawo eSouth Africa where you have to drive for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours because there isn't a choice yokuthi kune-airport lapho. So kufanele siyibuke lezi ndawo and see ukuthi can we establish smaller airports so that it is easy to travel between countries and areas in South Africa. Okay, I can tell you now, ukuthi in other areas in the country, in other parts of the world, usuka lage, but in fact, ngangise Zimbabwe one time, and I was surprised. Zimbabwe, South Africa, my airports akhona. Cishe abantu abaningi bagqoke uyayibona leyo nto. Into engayibona ngise Harare, Zimbabwe, abantu abaphuma enkonzweni. Kade nje beye enkonzweni baphuma sebeyogibela ibhanoyi bayahamba baye ekhaya. It should be like that in South Africa. We should have something like that where aviation is accessible and affordable. Kubo bonke abantu, because anyone can actually afford that. And that is why we're looking at into low-cost airlines. Ukuthi kuhle siyi promote. And I always say, as a matter of fact, MEC, we need to discuss these issues and agree with our state-owned companies as to whether we really have the low-cost airlines in South Africa, or we have the low-fares airlines in South Africa. But the conditions as our create AXA are promote a low-cost airline, not low fares, but for everything else tariffs, they pay the same as any other airline. I think it's something that we need to sit down and look into so that we can promote unami ukuthi nami ngaba ne-airline yami nawe ungaba ne-airline yakho, so that asikhulumi from a point of ukugibela kuphela, but sikhuluma also from a point of owning airlines, because we do have what is called low-cost airlines in the true sense of the word, with the conditions that support that. We therefore are joining the world today to commemorate the ICAD. Ngizawubuza sengiqedile ukuthi konje iCard umele ukuthini. As South Africa, the Department of Transport, i-branch aviation, elidwa uDDG Twala, makes sure ukuthi every day we have this celebration, this commemoration. We thank you, DDG, for the leadership that you are providing. Ngikhuluma ke ngesosha lomkhonto wesizwe. Yes, the tried and tested. Singasho nje abathunywa bayofunda, bethunywa u-OR Tambo, bele ngaphandle ukuthi when South Africa ithatha iba uhulumeni wedemocracy, bayobuya basibadeploye endaweni nembala. Uma ngabe bebuya babuya wafakwa kwa-aviation wayilida. Lefanele ukushayela ihloko. Sosha lomkhonto wesizwe wahamba wayofunda i-aviation le ngaphandle. Kungakabikho possible eSouth Africa ukuthi ungena ku-aviation ubungubani wena. Ubufuna nje khona ebhanoyini. Ufuna nakhona uma ngabe ubusa airport uyashanela. Hanje ukuthi awuyini yona. Cha, bahamba bayofunda. Bathi mzukwane sithatha siyobe si-ready. And uba ngabe esebethathile, they provided leadership eBritain, and that is why we are here today. We are here again for a career expo. Bantwana bami, some of you niseyikoleni, if ubuza ukuthi ufundela ini, angazi kahle ukuthi ngifundela ini. Or unlike thina ke uma ngabe wawusibuza sasizokutshela kalula ngoba vele kwakulimited okwethu. Ufundela ini? Ngifundela ukuba uthisha. Ufundela ini? Ngifundela ukuba unesi. Ngifundela ini? Ngifundela ukuba iphoyisi. Ufundela ini? Ngifundela ukuba umabhalane. Napho kwakuvunyelwe kithi. Uma kufanele uyokwenza imedicine ngesikhathi sethu, kwakufanele uthole ipermission kuminister ukuthi uhambe uyongena e-university wenza imedicine. Because uzobe wenza imedicine njani? Futhi nakhona kufanele ube ku-university medical school ethize. Hayi uma ngabe uthi ufuna ukuya e-Wits University, hayi kwakufanele lapho vele futhi kahle hle ngeke uqede nokuqeda. Ngoba leyo yona yayakhelwa abantu abathize. I'm not talking about something that happened ngingaphili. Ngikhuluma ngento eyenzeke kithi school. The education that channeled us, ukuthi you shall never be a doctor nor an engineer, because esikoleni sakho there is no maths, or if there is maths, there is no economics, there is no accounting as a subject. If there is that, there is no science, there is maths, but there is no science. Ithi noma ungabe uyisiqengu uhlakanipheke kangakanani. But if you have maths without science, you can never be an engineer. That was planned properly by the then government, which today we take it for granted. That uma esikoleni kune maths, kune science, kune accounting, kune economics, and so on. It's like this happened when kule government leya manje ye democracy. And we must have a choice. Siyabantwana. More than that, when namuhla where we take time to come and say to you, with your math, science, your accounting, your whatever, these are the careers that you can choose. And these are the bursaries and the opportunities akhona kuma areas that is. Singasho khona, kodwa khona la sisize khona. Uyabona ke as Department of Transport, MEC, angikhulumi ngo-NSFAS. NSFAS ukuminister uBlake Nzimande. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi abaka-matric you have already applied, those who qualify for NSFAS. Ukuthi si-applyele ukuye tertiary institutions, but also ngi-applyele ne-NSFAS. Thina ke as Department of Transport from i-budget yethu, sisayine ama-MOUs, ama-memorandum of understanding and agreement with universities, even la e-Eastern Cape. Sisayinile ne-University ye-Fort Hare, sisayinile ne-Nelson Mandela University, kanye namanye amathimba. We give them our money from i-budget yethu. We give them money and say sithatheleni abantwana abayilo. For instance, i-Fort Hare isibukela abantwana benza i-transport economics, because we need ama-economists, our transport. Babathatha bemitha ama-requirements e-university, kodwa ngemali yakwa-transport. Uma ngabe ufuna ukuba i-economy, i-transport economist, sizokunikeza sikhokhele for i-tuition, sikhokhele for i-accommodation, sikunikeze nemalinyana yokuthi udle uthenga ukudla kuphela kwenyanga uma uyi-applyele e-Fort Hare University. I-Nelson Mandela University isibukela kwa-maritime nama-aviation qualifications. Ba-introduce i-module ku-engineering at honors level. Imali yethu le. And we are happy that already there are students abayenzayo. But siyanikeza abantu abami e-Wits University, because i-Wits e-South Africa e-offerisha into okuthiwa i-aeronautical engineering, lapho kuyakufanele ulungisa amabhande ngoba kubiza amagama amakhulu. Aeronautical engineering, uyabona ke emisini umuntu uyabona nje mntanami uma ngabe usukuma lapho usuqedile esikoleni usukuma ume bese uthi mina nguThandi Nqatha, I'm an aeronautical engineer, and sit down. Wonke umuntu uyazi ukuthi uyisifundiswa. Yabona nje lelo gama. Lithi mina I am educated. I am an aeronautical engineer. Ngibuka injini ayikhona futhi. Mina ngafika kwenye indawo ngingaphesheya bazongikhombisa ukuthi injini ye-aircraft ihlangana kanjani. Babiza amagama amaphathi bayayazi oPierre. Babiza amagama bayabiza. Sekuwena loyo ufika la Eastern Cape uthi I'm an aeronautical engineer. We have said to Wits University, you are going to use our money to fund learners from poor communities. So that bangabi nenkinga yokuthi abazi ukuthi bazokhokha kanjani because it's expensive. Abazi ukuthi bazodla ini, abazi ukuthi i-laptop efunekayo bazoyithenga kanjani. That is our money. It's available at the beginning of the academic year, every year. So you can't say, I can't be this because ekhaya kuphuwa. Abanye ngoba mhlambe ithukuba ngonywana nayo le mali yokudla esibanika yona. Baze bakhiphe no 500 rand eceleni bangasitsheli, bathumelele uma ekhaya. Asingeni ke leyo ngoba basitsheli. Kodwa futhi umethumelele uma ekhaya. Hayi angeke siyibize kakhulu kodwa yakho kodwa ke uma ngabe ubona ukuthi uma naye mhlawumbe 500 rand angathenga impuphu ne kulungile kodwa ke hayi akusiyona yalokho. Namuhla I hope i-show izokwenzeka. Bathe abakhona bathi bafuna ukuthi ningabuki nje kuphela selile phezulu kodwa nihambe nilibone nje nebhalo yeduzane ukulithinta ulibone so that uzoba ne-interest yakhona. Kodwa enye into bebefisa ukuthi silibone DCA if for any reason kungenzeka ukuthi singakhona ukuqhubeka ne-show kofuneka sibuye siyilethela next year so that izokwenzeka i-show because uyabona into efika iqedile ubumnandi be-iCard i-show eyenza ukuthi sibabuke lapha phezulu benze ividiyo yakhona. So laba bantwana abala noma abanye bobesebese tertiary uma bobese tertiary kodwa bofanele baphinde babuye uma ingenzekanga I hope izokwenzeka namhlanje. We are trying to transform the sector. It's not an easy sector to transform for many reasons, but we are doing everything to transform this sector. Let me tell you what we have done. TITA is funding many of the academies. Our trainer pilots, for instance, here in South Africa. But we have not been getting the numbers that we need. And that is why we are also exploring other avenues. You know, ngalowa nyaka isakha ikhiphe abantwana abawu5 yabahambisa yabase France. Bayo trainer khona ukuthi baba ma-pilots wadropha oyi-1 for reasons mhlawumbe ezihlukile but 4 babuye bephethe the highest qualification yokuba i-pilot nge-record time. And into engiyijabulelayo ukuthi already ba-absorbed. Sithumele 8 kulo nyaka again ukuthi abahambe bayo train. Nawe singakuthumela futhi ke ubuse Eastern Cape angithi ke kahle in the main Eastern Cape is a rural province. So singakuthumela nawe. But asikwazi ukukuthumela uyofundela ukuba yi-pilot. Uyabona besiflya siye eBloemfontein uma kufanele silande on Wednesday iweather yathi anizukhona ukulanda. Uyabona uma ngabe nehlalana emafini liyabhampa ibhano lenze nje. The only hope you have kuleso sikhathi ukuthi the pilot is a properly trained South African pilot. We are producing the best pilots in the world in terms of quality. Abona ukuthi ayikhona akulendeki akuphuphi aphinda abuye athi asitshela athi hayi awuthi ke sitry futhi athi umet athi ayenzeki aphinda khuphuka. 5 times what we diverting. We're going to OR Tambo now. Uyabona ke lapho usukuhleli kwazi kahle ukuthi ngisemseni we-pilot and ngisemseni we-pilot equality. And South Africa is producing the best and the quality yama-pilot. That is why I am saying to you, uma ke ufuna ukuba yi-pilot, enye yezinto ongeke uyenze ukuba ube yi-pilot enyawuphi. Once wachuza inyawuphi, forget it. Awukwazi ukuba i-pilot. Nyawuphi ne-pilot? Imagine, if you decide ukuthi namuhla mina ngilala ngivuke ngotshwala, ngi-abuse nje utshwala mina. But to be honest, I don't know nothing nokuthi nim abuse. Because nina nje anikaphuza utshwala. Angithi bantwana? Anikaphuza utshwala ngithi. No kwenza i-choice. When you are adults, ukuthi I want to or I don't want to. When you make that choice, the choice will even include ukuthi if I do want to drink, ngiphuza nini, ngiphuza ini. Ngayizwa le mbuzo u2. Ngiphuza nini, ngiphuza ini. Uma niyingane kanje, you can't have that choice. So you can't drink and hope to be in the aviation. Obusucabanga ukuthi mina nje ngiyintombi yakwethu ehlala nje iphukuyaziwa ngakithi elalini. Ukuthi hayi mina ngiyaphuza. Hayi abantu abamngeke. Musukwaziwa ngotshwala. Yaziwa ngokufunda. Yaziwa ngokuthanda abazali bakho nokuhlonipha. Yaziwa ngokuklina nje kini. Now that uvaliwe ikole. Uyavuka ekhaya ukline kube clean, kube kuhle. Awaziwa ngomgwaqo notshwala namakani. Hayi, Siza singazi ukuthi omakoti sobathatha phi nabakhonyana. No. Yiba proud. Uma bangani bakho bayaphuza bayeke baphuze. Akukwenzi wena ukuthi phuza kanye nawe. Ukhule nje so uphuza face. Uyogcina sikubiza ngo-uncle, usibiza ngo-uncle. Usibiza ngoma-olate. Ubiza abantu abawufunda nabo bethi angifunda naye lo. Uhamba ngemoto yakwanokusho wena uhamba ngenyawo. Hayi sanje anginikeza isincamo sokugwayo. Oh no. So ngisho lokho, what I'm saying to you ukuthi if you want to be in the aviation, then there are things okufanele ukuthi nizenze. We are doing exceptionally good in the aviation sector. Niyakhumbula yini abakanye nami? OR Tambo was once called Jan Smart. Yasuka kubeni uJan Smart yabizwa ngoJohannesburg International Airport. Sathi no, fanele siyibize ngo-OR Tambo, the name ebizwa ngayo today. But yazi ngintshela abantu abami, i-Cape Town International Airport was once named after umcindezeli u-DF Malan. Yayibizwa ngo-DF Malan International Airport. Uma thina kufanele siyishintshe today, siyibize ngamagama afanele abantu bomzabalazo. Kungazuthi senze into engafanele ngoba ku-right uma kuthiwa yi-Cape Town. Yayingeyona i-Cape Town Airport, kwakuyi-DF Malan Airport. I-OR Tambo kwangeyona i-Johannesburg, kwakuyi-Jan Smart. I-King Shaka kwangeyona i-Durban International Airport, kwakuyini Zandi? Ngikhumbula igama lakhona. Lo munye umcindezeli. Nathi we are correct Uma siwabiza today go King Shaka International Airport. We are correct. Uma siwabiza nge OR Tambo International Airport. And AXA, fanele sibone ukuthi Cape Town siyibiza ngaliphi igama. Ley'nqalabutho zethu. Because that is what other countries are doing. There isn't any London International Airport. There is Heathrow International Airport. Ukuthi ubani uHeathrow nama ngimazi, kodwa kushiwo ukuthi London, thiwa Heathrow International Airport is a London. Not a South Africa. We need to do that ngama airports ethu. Kade ke zololoko befikile bezos auditor MEC. Siya auditor South Africa. One, we have the regulator. Bafika, futhi ngizogcina lapha. Bafika, ufike ayikhaya. Izobuka yonke into. I-safety ke kwa-aviation is important. Njengoba ngisho ngithi bekufanele ukuthi silende eBloemfontein. Sangalendi. I-safety ke leyo. Akuyona security. Si-secured isiphakathi. There is nothing esithreatenisha ukuthi khona ongasidubula noma emtha. So we are secure. But safety then becomes critical. Because once we have a compromise with safety, ayikho leyo aviation. Sine record elihle in South Africa. Uma kuya kuma commercial aircrafts ethu and services ethu. Emhlabeni ayawa amabhaloni. South Africa sino 0% commercial air crashes. And we are doing that because of the quality of the people that we are training. We are going to AXA train ababani bakhona. Awuphumi uphase ungatholanga 100% in my practicals akhona. 100%. Because you can't get to 99%. Because no 1% you should think. Ushukuthi kufanele phela khona kube ne-air crash asumdingi lo. So thina kwa-aviation we are strict and very strict. And that is why the ATNS imikhuluma ngama-air traffic controllers, but I'm sure abanye benu they would want to be that. Noma uqhamuka kufemeli ephuwa kangakanani. If you pass kahle maths go 60% in the physics, no 60% higher grade. Yeah, you can apply with academy yethu. Ekahulumeni ilapha ePitoli uyocela kuphela uma wakho nobaba wakho ukuthi aboleke kwamakhelwane imali yokuthi ugibele uzuyofika khona. Uma usufikile khona, we'll provide you with the accommodation. Siqede sikunike stipend at the end of the month. So the last time uzokucela imali ekhaya uyimanga ugibele uye ePretoria. Uma usePretoria sikunika accommodation, sikunika ukudla, sikunikeza istipend. Abanye baphinde bantshontshele nasekhaya kulungile futhi. Uma usulapho. Ebese sikutrainer. Ube i-traffic officer. Uyawabona ama-traffic asemgaqweni. Kukhona kama-traffic officers aku-airspace. Akhuluma ne-pilot. Ayitshela ukuthi i-pilot yehlisa ispeed ngoba awukezulenda. Ngenxa yokuthi kunama-aircrafts awu-5 before you. E-OR Tambo i-interval yokusuka nokulenda kwama-aircraft i-interval ka-3 minutes. So kufanele kube khona olendile kube khona osukile 3 minutes intervals. And when that happens, the air traffic controller must be able to instruct every pilot ukuthi reduce or accelerate. You can land, you can take off. And that is the work of the air traffic controllers. Bafundile laba bantu. Bagqoka usudu, babe bahle. Bahlale lapha phezulu kutower. Basibukela i-airspace sethu. It can't be you. Kungaba uwe usibukele espace sethu ukuthi kwenzeka ini. Usibukele ama-drones, usibukele amabhano yamancane namakhulu lapha phezulu ku-espace sethu. We need that, and awudingi imali yefamily You can't say I can't be an air traffic controller because ekhaya there is nobody who is employed. No, that can never be the reason. The only reason engenza ukuthi ungakhona ukuba i-air traffic controller is if you are not serious with your work. Period. But otherwise the poverty ayikuvimbi lapho ngoba ngithi akudingi imali ozoyikhokha from your parents. As a matter of fact, ungabatshontsha-tshontshela kancane ubanikeze. We training ama-air traffic controllers amazwe omhlaba la eSouth Africa. Former president we-ICAO was trained here in South Africa from Nigeria, and that is why we are proud of that. Uma ngabe wenza i-technology or IT esikoleni, uyabona ke laphayana kwe-air traffic navigation services, ila sikudinga khona. Because i-space, i-infrastructure yakhona, i-technology. Infrastructure, uyabona kunemgwaqo lapha yakhiwe nge-infrastructure, nge-technology. Vele iyakhiwa la. That is why uma ngabe ukhuluma ngayo siyayi-renew, siyi-upgrade every now and again, so that imeshe kanye nama-developments enzekayo. So uma ukwa-technology usendaweni e-right, uma wenza i-IT usendaweni e-right, ukuthi ungaba khona laphaya kwa-air traffic navigation services. Sisebenza laphayana, sisebenza kanye nabaningi abenze i-technology kanjalo kanjalo. Ama-skills maningi ke afunekayo lapho ukuze sikhona ukuqhubeka nerekhodi lethu eli-right. Uma ngabe sikhuluma nge-auditing, ngiyakasekugcineni mhlawumbe. Kufike i-US yazos-audit. Khona nje ngingakuhleba ukuba bekuthi abekho bonke laba kodwa ngeke ngikhona ngoba nakho nathi khona abaningi. Bafika bazos-audit. Bangena baphuma, ba-check. Ku-US ke you either good or bad. Akukho in between. Bathuma bephuma behamba, khona ama-lessons abebewafunde eSouth Africa bakope. Khona bebekufunde eSouth Africa because laba bakwenzi. Sathuma ngabe siku-ICAO assembly last year. Basibiza bazositshela ukuthi South Africa, you've retained your status ukuba ku-category 1. Ayifanele ukushaya ihlombe lonke. Very important, because uma i-US ibithe siku-category 2, engabe the European countries sebefikile, EU yafika yazos-audit. It would have meant ukuthi akuna aircraft flyer from South Africa e-US. But ukuthola kwethu category 1 kwi-US audit, kuthi nje uma ungafuni ukuflya SAA, it's not because there's nothing preventing you. Anytime you can fly to US from South Africa. But kwenza ukuthi abanye babona ukuthi uma bephose e-US, bafuna izinto ey'ngalula. Mina ngezwa bekhuluma bathi accreditani zonke izikole la ku-traine khona ama-pilots aflya eze-South Africa. I mean, honestly, umuntu oflya i-airline, i-British Airways from Britain eze-South Africa, sezoma-accredita kanjani? Simazi ngabe utraine kuphi? Njani? We take it ukuthi country yakhe im-accreditile phela. That is why eflya nabo banama-standards. Sayithola thina, sayithola indlela. Sathi sizawukhuluma nama-bodies abamakhulu o-EU, sibe nabo ama-understanding, memorandum of understanding nabo, and in that way, because baba-accreditile bona, nathi siba kanjani, saphuma kuleyo ndawo, sayiphasa. Sine-strategy thina. Saphuma. yasinikeza ucategory 1 yafika ayikhayo yathi nathi siyeza sizon auditor South Africa iza vele sibahle i-previous audit yethu ibisinikeze u-87.3%. Now ukabili you sustain that performance or you decline. Umefiki ayikhayo ya auditor. I want to thank everyone who participated and continued to participate in those audits. Our airlines, every stakeholder in the aviation sector. Because believe you me, singangavumelani, but when sekufika umuntu angaphandle those auditor, ayisiphakamisa iketi zethu. Sime kanje sithi siyi-South Africa sihlangana. Umephume ayikhayo yathi South Africa 91.1% from 87%. We are number 1 by far in the continent. We are amongst the top 20 in the world. Galo 91.1% in the world. That is where we are as South Africa. And believe you me, Bantabam, nobody is going to tell you about these stories. Because the story, the narrative in South Africa, everything is falling apart. It's a story that says this government has not done anything. Let me tell you, King Shaka International Airport is one of the most beautiful airports built by this government. OR Tambo was this size, small. Today, OR Tambo is a city. It is this government that OR Tambo International Airport. With a track record, our 3 airports in South Africa, our top 100, in fact, sometimes we top 50 in performance here. That is South Africa, and it is happening here in South Africa, in the aviation sector, that SAR wanted to make us believe it can only be others who can ensure aviation yenze. We are saying anyone, it doesn't matter your racial group, can actually lead and manage aviation, and that is what we are doing. Bengeke ngihlale phansi ke ngingantshelanga bantu abami ukuthi either than aviation akhona thina amanye ama-carriers akhona aba-transport siku-maritime. Ngiyacabanga ukuthi abenza i-geography bayazi ukuthi amanzi ethu that we are responsible for akhiwa ama-oceans out 3 anyendi abekho abe-geography la the Atlantic Ocean, that is cold, the Indian Ocean, that is warm, the Southern Ocean. Amanzi to South Africa asenza sibe in maritime state. Our ports, which is Richards Bay, Durban, East London, Port Elizabeth, Ingurha, Mossel Bay, Cape Town, Saldanha Bay, asenza in South Africa in a port state. What we want to be, Uguba is flag state. So we are a maritime state, we are a port state, we want to be a flag state. We want to be a flag state because we want to see vessels that register in South Africa and fly the South African flag. When we have that, then we'll become a flag state. Siyayikhulisa i-maritime, bantu bam. You know, izolo MEC ngilale uyazi ngifisa ukuthi uma ku-agenda i-cabinet ngathi nje ngingahamba ngiyolala ngisajabule nje kungekho lutho nje ngizomshintsha imudi yami. Siphasise i-freight logistic roadmap, private sector participation framework, and many others. Sizoyakha kanjani ama-ports ethu ukuthi asebenze kahle. Now sine road map. Siyohlala ngithe uma siphuma ngathi eBrentini asivali singahlangananga ukuzobuka ukuthi yini okufanele sibe sicabanga uma ngabe sikuma holiday. South Africa is supposed to be a gateway to Africa, and we must say it, and all of us agree that South Africa is a gateway to the continent, and work towards achieving that. And there is nothing wrong with that. Panama, a small country somewhere in the in US, when you go there, they tell you, Umuti, we want to be the gateway to both North and South America. They say we want vessels that sail from South Africa direct to Panama and then to other parts of US. We want that as South Africa. And we have to agree as South Africa, Uguti, the Durban port is our hub port, our premier port. We have to agree as a country and then develop other ports. But we say this is our premier port. I say this in the Eastern Cape because sometimes there's a confusion. MEC. Ports are national assets. They're not provincial assets. They are not municipality assets. They are not ward assets, but they are located in provinces. And that is why any country in the world identifies a hub port. The rest are developed, but there is a hub port. And if you look at South Africa, we have to agree about which port is our hub port. If we have a confusion, then we're going to have the Durban port rate 361 out of 370 ports. It can't be. It simply cannot. And that is why we must work towards achieving that status of having one of our ports being rated as #1 in the continent, and that used to be Durban port. And we want to retain that status. And we've got to work towards achieving that and develop all other ports. Other ports. Somebody says to me, if there is one port that is supposed to be the big port in the southern Africa, is Durban port. You know, when vessels dock Zipar airport, good a possibility by the time they saw damages in some and because we no more. But with the Durban port, it doesn't happen because it is cool and it is cold. It is warm. So we need to go all out and ensure that we have our premier port, our hub port, gateway to the continent, functioning perfectly, and then ensure that all other ports, we invest in them. And that is what we are prepared to do. Come rain, come summer, come winter, we will achieve it. And that is why we are more than prepared to invest in people who we will be sending to the best ports of the world. I've said to the department, let's get budget for that, so that we identify abayimisele ukuthi bahambe bayofunda abazoyofunda njengobaba uzakhele Thwala. Yabona u-OR Tambo send them kungena democracy, but babuye basebenzisa lolo lwazi. We need to do that, and it can be yourself who we going to send to ports that are better managed, so that we can come back and manage our ports. We are prepared to invest in that, so that we manage our ports properly. There are so many carriers again khona lapho, and as the Department of Transport siyafanda khona lapho. Sine rain, you know, uyiqalile nje yahamba eSlondon angithi bakwethu. Stimela siqalile eMC eSlondon siyahamba. akusenzakaleli. Siyavula nje ama-corridors gadla, kade ivaliwe iyahamba. Siyavula nje gadla, kube khona iy'nkinganyana bese kube sengazuthi uma ngabe kufike-ke la kuthatheke khona mhlawumbe ugesi kwesekumeka. Hhayi, sisendleleni. Ya, uma kufika kukhona la, lapha ya. Ngizobabiza ngamagama. Uma sifika la kungahambeki khona, sithola i-answer khona lapho. I'm told ukuthi esitimeleni ebesiya eCape Town kufike la kunama-cables kagesi angekho khona. Base behliswa 70 kilometers to Cape Town. 70 kilometers. Base bebehlisa babafake emabhasini kunokuthi bathi abalinde esitimeleni. Sizohamba futhi leso sitimela. Siqhubeke sihamba. Siyaqalile siyahamba between Johannesburg and Durban. Siqalile isitimela mhla ka-8 sihambile. Siqalile siyahamba siya eMusina, sithe ukudileya sizoqala ihambe. So we are working, we are trying our level best to ensure ukuthi there is integrated transport eyenzeke South Africa. Bantu abami, my last point, I'm talking to you now. You are citizens of South Africa. And you are the future citizens of South Africa. This country, ukuthi iqhubeke ibe South Africa and a better country, is dependent on you. The choices that you make today will determine your future. If you choose wrong friends and do wrong things, your future will be wrong. If you choose right friends, because you owe nobody anything. If your friends are not what you want, you have a right to leave them and start new friends. You have a right. Ukhulume nge-eagle, ngifuna ukuthatha lapho. Mhlambe isitori enisaziyo kodwa mhlambe kufanele nisizwe ngami. Ifama umnikazi uthatha amaqanda enkukhu uwabeka esidlekeni, but phakathi kukhona iqanda le-eagle. Angithi. So inkukhu iyafukamela lamaqanda, ayaphuma lamathwane. All of them. So amathwane awu-19 enkukhu and 1 thwane le-eagle. They grow. La ekhaya banikeza ukudla, bayakhula. Uma kuqhamuka the bird itizothatha, bayabaleka bacashe bonke. Nalo leli thwane does that. Ayakhula, develop my wings. One time, who's this step? Sezulu. Bayabaleka, bayoqasha. Leli thwane le eagle lisala ngemuva because they feel ukuthi kodwa mina I'm not afraid. I'm not scared of this tornado. But uyafika ke umfama because uyasola ufika ukuthi ukususa impilo. So nala liyathithibala futhi. Ziyakhula impilo. Liyafika futhi izulu next wisama. Ayikhona. Uyabuka la ngithi selikhulile nokukhula lempiko selikhulile. Uma ifika i-tornado, those who have studied geography, liyabuka leli thole lithi no man. No. I'm not scared. As a matter of fact, I can fly. Ivula amaphiko ayo, iphambana netornado. Nefu iyandiza, iyadlula emafini ayiphaphuki, shaya amaphiko ayo, until ngaphezulu kwamafu. The point I'm making to you, ungaba kade namathwane enkukhu. but you are not itwanele nkukhu wena. Uyitwanele eagle wena. Kungabe futhi at some stage kube nezinto ezithi cut your wings. Poverty at home, nobody is employed, and therefore you hardly have a proper uniform, your colleagues laugh at you, and so on and so forth. And let me tell you, there will be a time where you'll have to open your wings and take off and fly. Because you are not itwanele nkukhu, wena uyitwanele eagle. Live bantu abami, yabona lo singama lapha phambi kwethu sibizwe ngamagama ministers, this and that. Beka leyo nto eceleni. Lokho nje uya upresident uma ekubekile. I'm a professional, somebody. But I come from not a rich family. I don't. I used to get 1 penny per year. Yes. For Christmas. I will wear it for the whole year. We used to go to school barefooted because we were 12 at home. And umfundisi waseLuthela could not buy shoes for all of us, Mr. Schooling. So, it's not the situation you find yourself today, but it's what you do today that will determine your future. In the place where we stayed at some stage, abafundisi bayamuvwa from point A to point B to point C. So I know living with township, I know living with mission, but I know living with mission encane esarroundwa amaplaza and esikole esigcina ku standard 2. The only thing that was motivating us to go to school ukuthi sabantwana bomfundisi. That is all. Otherwise, everything was saying, don't go to school. Oh, mawazi ukuthi uthandana nobani uneminyaka u-15. If you are not known, ubizwa ngamagama. So we grew up sibizwa ngamagama. I'm talking about me and my family. The only thing we had was our brains. Not wealth, not new shoes, not new panties, but brains. They took us to where we are today. So what you are, the situation of your family, bantwana, asikwazi ukuthi sithi wena uyobaphuwa. The family might not have anyone osebenzayo, but wena ama choices akho angakwenza wazi ukuthi icathulo igqokayo awazi ukuthi ziphi. You can choose. Not out of corruption, out of things that you have accumulated because you have gone to school. Teachers are there to guide you. Teachers are there to teach you. But they can never learn for you. Abakwazi ukumstatishela. Uwena otatisha. Othisha bangakwenza but ngeke bakwenza uphuze. So I'm saying to you, you have the opportunities today that we never had in our lifetime. And it is up to you to decide. Ukuthi out of this iCard, I have learned something and I'm going to change my behavior. Huh? Akusho ukuthi ngonyuye noko siya kuwo. Kufanele ungene ku-2023 ungawubona udaniwe. Join me. Join me. Mina I will get into 2024 ngonyuye ngubhekile ngobe ngisopa. Kodwa ngobe ngidansa ngize ngishone phansi. You will come out 2024 ngibubheke ngamehlo ami. Angeke ngiwuqala u-2024 ngidakiwe. I will not set istandard sika-2024 ngokudaka. Ngiyongena ngiwubheke ngqo 2024. And I'm inviting you young people to join me on that day. To let others to drink and say, I am joining the Minister of Transport who said, yeah, there you are. Abazomjoyin with commitment. Esiyongena nabo ku-19 ku-2024 uNkulunkulu esigcinile singene simbheke ngamehlo sisoba sithi happy new year kodwa kusho thina sisoba sisetha istandard sokuba sober, and that is what South Africa needs, sober-minded people. Engathi namuhla ilanga lakhona lingaqhubeka kahle siye phambili, iSouth Africa iqhubeke. Ngiyabonga kakhulu.
Siyabonga kakhulu Minister. Another round of applause, please. Uzoyithola kanjani? Ungayanga esikolweni? Yeah. Thank you very much, Minister. That was a mouthful. Sodolophu ingengqi. Usithi nje sodolophu awubulela. We've just been told that at least at 1 o'clock we can still be able to see the helicopter. We are not going to be able to, until further, get notification as to the rest of the aircraft, but at least go one condor side back.
Enkosi mnakamhlaba mandithabathe lithuba loba ndizibulisele ohloniphekileyo umphathiswa wezothutho uzwelonke umama uShikungu nomphathiswa wezothutho nokhuseleko ephondweni Tata uNqathe umama obambele usodolophu inkosi Xebe ikumkani yamaRharhabe avulwayo wonke umuntu olapha ngimbulisile kuba ke ingxaki andibazi bonke abantu abalapha ndiye ndazixelela intoba ndizawufika apha noba imeko seyisithini kuba bendinomngcwabo kwayo ekhaya kodwa ndathi ndizawufika isizathu ke sokuba ndiqiniseke uba ndiyeza kungenxa yento yoba ndiza okwesibini kule airport. Okokuqala ndandizile kule airport, guess uba ndandizele ntoni. Kule airport sasizokukhawulela uMadiba ukufika kwakhe esandophuma esandokhululwa. Okokuqala engekabi ngumongameli wafikela kule airport. Ithamsanqa lethu ke bendititsha ngo-1994 kwisikolo silapho ekuthiwa iGasela. Saba nelo thamsanqa ke uba size apha sizokwamkela umongameli wokuqala omnyama wedemokhrasi uMadiba kule airport. Mhlawumbi abanye abayazi. Isikolo sethu ke se-walking distance iGasela ukuza apha. Mhlawumbi ke bakhona abantwana baseGasela apha. Bakhona? Ndiyababona bakhona abaseZukhanye. iZukhanye nayo enye lali ezilapha kufutshane Ndiyababona bakhona abasebhisho, ndiyababona bakhona abakwanonkampa. Izikolo zonke ezilapha ndiyazibona. So le airport ke inako noko ukubaluleka ke mphathiso. Kuba nangona nje ibi-airport eyakhiwe through i-homeland system, kodwa ibe noka ukubaluleka ke ngokuya kufumana ngoba isiswenye somzabalazo wethu uMadiba wanyathela kule airport. Mandithabathe lithuba ke loba ndibulele mphathiso kakhulu. Ndibulele okokuqala inkulumbuso yephondo utata uMabuyane ngokuba abone kufanelekile into yokuba le airport mayivuselele ibe yenye airport ezinkulu ezikhoyo apha eMzantsi Afrika. Ukuza ke akwakho apha mphathiswa kuyasinikela themba lento yoba indeed le airport izawuthi ivuselele. Ndibulele umphathiswa wethu apha ephondweni tata uNqadi ngokuba naye azowisa amazwi enkxaso apha ukuthi sikunye nani apha ekuphuculweni kwale airport ngolu suku olubaluleke kangaka ekuthiwa yi-International Civil Aviation Day. Esifuna ke into yokuba abantwana bethu nabo bazingce